Okay, so in this lesson we're actually given a sequence and the objective is to be able to write down an expression for the nth term of that sequence. Okay, so let's go through some examples to see how we actually go about doing that. So here's our first sequence here, 5, 8, 11, 14. What we do first of all is look for the difference between each of the numbers. So from 5 to 8, we've gone up 3. From 8 to 11, we've gone up 3. And from 11 to 14, we've also gone up 3. So it's a little bit like a 3 times table because we're going up 3 each time. It's just that it happens to be shifted a little bit further to the right. So what we do first of all, when we found this common difference of 3, we know that our nth term expression must start 3n, 3 times n. So that's the first part of our answer. Now to get the full answer, the full expression, we need to look at what it would mean if that was our final answer. If we said the nth term expression was 3n, the first term would be 3 times 1. So this one here would end up being 3. That's what we'd get. It's not 3, it's 5. We actually want it to be 5, so we've got to decide whether we need to add something or take something off to make it 5. So if I'm at 3 and I want to make it 5, I know I've got to add 2. So that gives me my nth term for that sequence is 3n plus 2. If I'm not sure about that, I can actually test it on the sequence here. So for instance, I could look at the 1, 2, 3, I could look at the fourth term there, because it's the fourth one along, and if instead of n, I put 4 in there, I'll get 3 times 4 is 12, plus another 2 gives me 14. And 14 is what the fourth term is, so I know I've got it right. Okay, let's try the same thing on this one down here. Same process as before, let's look at the difference between the numbers. So 21 to 17, this time I've gone down, so it's minus 4 is the difference. 17 to 13, again, minus 4. 13 to 9, same again, minus 4. So don't be put off by the fact that it's a minus here. I'm going to follow the same process as there. Because I've got minus 4 as the common difference, I know that my nth term must start minus 4n. So don't forget to put the n bit in there. And I may have to add or take something off there as well. So let's assume that that was my final answer. Have a think about what that would give me as the first term here. In other words, when n equals 1. If n equals 1, here I would have minus 4 times 1, which is minus 4. So that would give me a first term in this sequence of minus 4. But it's not minus 4, it's 21. So I need to adjust it to go from minus 4 to 21. So to do that, from minus 4 to 21, I know I've got to add on 25. So on my nth term, I've got to put that on there. So my nth term is now minus 4n plus 25. And again, I could test that on here to see if it works for the other terms as well. Okay, let's look at some more. So here's my third one, the same process as before. Look at the difference first. This time we're starting at a negative. I'm starting at minus 2 and I'm going up to 3. So there's a difference there of 5. I'm going up 5, I'm adding on 5. From 3 to 8, again, I'm adding 5. From 8 to 13, I'm adding 5. So again, I know that the nth term sequence must start 5n and then there might be something else afterwards. If that was right, then that would give me my first term here when n is 1 as 5 times 1, which is 5. But that's obviously not right. Instead of 5, I want it to be minus 2. So to go from 5 to minus 2, I need to take off 7. So that gives me my nth term, 5n minus 7. Like before, I can check it's right. I can pick the 1, 2, 3, the fourth term, say. So that's when n equals 4. Substitute that into there. When n is 4, this gives me 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 7 is 13. And that's exactly what I want. I want 13 for the fourth term. So I know that I've got my nth term right. Okay, same on the next one. 8 to 12 is a difference of 4. 12 to 16, difference of 4. 16 to 20, a difference of 4. So So straight away I can say, right, the first bit of my answer is going to be 4n. If that was right, then my first term here would be 4 times 1, which is 4. But instead of 4, it's actually 8, so I need to adjust it from 4 to 8. I need to add on another 4. And there's my nth term. On to the next one. I've got 3 terms here, but it'll still work. From 11 to 8, I've taken off 3, so the difference is minus 3. 8 to 5, again, it's minus 3. So from that one, I know that my nth term must start minus 3n. So whatever number I've got here, put it over there, and stick an n on the end of it. But again, I may need to adjust it. I may need to have a plus or a minus something there. So when n is 1, this would give me minus 3 times 1, which is minus 3. So if that was right, my first term would be minus 3. But we can see it's not. The first term is 11, so I need to adjust it. So to go from minus 3 to 11, I need to add on 14. So I'm going to add on that 14. And that would give me my nth term. Okay, so there's your process. So we've done 5 examples, exactly the same process. Don't be put off by the fact that it's a minus sign, just follow the process. Okay, so it's your turn now. So have a go. There's 5 examples for you to have a go at, the same process as we've done already. So what you'll need to do now is pause the video, have a go yourself, and then you'll find the answers will be following on the video.